now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity. My friends on the panel would most certainly recognize our famous guest on sight. So, as usual, we have provided them with blindfolds. Are those blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes, John.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please?
I forgot you.
As you know, in the case of our mystery challenger, we always dispense with the usual preliminaries. We get right down to the general questioning, which we will begin with Miss Arlene Francis.
Well, we've already had Arthur Godfrey, so unless we're doing a repeat for the West Coast, this can't be he. Are you in the entertainment business?
No question.
Have you appeared in pictures? Are you male? Take a little look. What? Yes?
Maybe airmail.
Yes, the answer to that, Miss Arlene.
And you've appeared in television? And radio? Well, there's nothing very much left then. Would you be considered a comedian? Would you consider yourself a leading man?
I would say that our guest is handsome enough to be a leading man and young enough to be a leading man and is very probably considered a leading man.
But he doesn't consider himself a leading man?
I think probably he also considers himself a leading man.
Would I consider you a leading man? Well, are you primarily known as a comedian? Is that your forte? Or are you also a straight actor?
No, one question at a time.
All right. Are you primarily known as a comedian? Do you do anything besides act? I mean by that, do you play a musical instrument or sing? You do one of those things? Are you a singer?
One down and 9 to go. Mr. Block.
Well, have you been on a television show in the last year? Happen to have. Have you ever had your own show in radio or television? Have you ever been featured in a picture? And this isn't your great racket? You know something? You should just stick to being a comedian. In addition to being a comedian, you do something else. Do you play an instrument? Oh! I bet you thought I knew what I was talking about. Is it by any chance a very popular instrument? Something that most people have in the home?
Well, to the degree that people have an interest in music, you might find this in a great many homes.
Is it possibly something with strings?
Strings, yes.
Is it the piano?
That would make it...
Well, pianos have strings.
2 down and 8 to go. Miss Kilgallen.
Have you ever appeared on the New York stage? Were you a comedian then, too? When you work as a comedian, are you usually in proximity to people who are known as stooges or supporting players, I suppose, more politely?
Well, Are you in proximity to supporting players when you are performing as a comedian?
I mean that, is he that rather than a monologist?
Whatever became a ha-ha.
Did I get a yes on that?
You go on from there. Actually, I think, Miss Kilgallen, that we would have to admit that our guest is, on many occasions, a monologist, and on other occasions, you will find that he uses supporting players.
He seems to do everything. Do you have a regular radio program of your own? And do you use supporting players on that? Steve, I'll pass to you while I cogitate.
All right, Mr. Allen, let's see what you can do. We have about 2 minutes and a half to go.
While you're cogitating, why don't you think it over?
I'm going to try to.
Let's see. Does your wife ever work with you when you work? That's too bad. I'll have to speak to your agent about that. Do you by any chance ever work with your orchestra leader? I mean, is he a part of your entourage? Is your hair... Are you having a little trouble with your hair?
Is that properly a no answer? Okay, that's 3 down and 7 to go.
He's having no trouble with his hair. He has hair.
Looks grand.
Have you hair?
It is both full and handsome. Go on from there, Miss Francis.
Let me see now. Have you ever been on the road to anything in a picture?
That makes it 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Block.
I'd like to find out what Steve was thinking of.
Now, we have only about 55 seconds to go, Mr. Block.
I'd like to, too.
Well, are you in New York in a vehicle right now?
No, he's on a stage in a theater. That's 5 down and 5 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, are you usually in California?
Are you usually in California?
Is that where you live? Well, if you work with your wife and you play a stringed instrument and you have hair, even if it isn't all your own, are you Jack Benny?
Jack Benny! All right! Thanks very much. And Jack, can you say hello to the family, please? And yours, and I know they want to say hello to you. Thanks very much for coming to visit.
If I would have only asked if he was 39.
No. Could I ask just one question?
Why,
Then we ought to-
sure.
Do I get paid for tonight?
And now, in just a moment, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give you a preview look at one of our guests whose line our panel is going to be asked to guess on next week's program. But first, here is something to remember. You again, this is John Daly saying, good night, Dorothy.
Good night, Steve.
Good night, Arlene.
Good night, Hal.
Good night, Jack.
Oh, and good night, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for being with us on What's My Line?